commercial break, and as we wind up today's segment of Morning at NTV show to conclude for us this particular week, we want to dive into conversation on the issues of the International Labour Day, which was gazetted in 1984. This is the day that always recognizes the workers across the world. But coming back to the issues of Uganda, or looking back to domestic issues within the country, over the years there have been concerns about the issues of labor exports, their welfare in this external market, and also even looking at whether they normally go through the required legal authorities or not. And sometimes when they get challenges in these Middle East countries, it becomes very hard for government to trace them. But also, secondly, the workers over the years have been complaining about the issues of minimum wage. You find that the salary disparities has affected the productivity of these workers in the country. And this morning, I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Baguma Rashid. He happens to be one person who has been following the affairs of this country so much. I want to understand, looking at this particular day, what does it mean? But also, let's have better conversation on the issues of labor. Good morning. I will hold it. It's okay. I'll hold it.
Good morning, Adil Rasul. Good morning, NTV. Thank you so much for hosting me. I'm Baguma Kerashid, Assistant Resident Commissioner Koboko. On the issue of minimum wage bill, minimum wage in Uganda in 1984 it was 6,000. As per currently, it is 130,000. And this 100,000, when it divided by 30, it means a worker gets 4,333 recurrent. Now, if you look at this as per the expenditure today, really it cannot sustain a worker. Of course, recently it has been the outcry from the teachers on the issue of minimum wage. Of course, the recent there was that 25% increment for the teachers. I think that is a good move to ensure that the teachers' welfare is also improved. Of course, the president has also come to with an idea that our scientists in Uganda are doing a better work, and of course, time taken for service requires a lot of effort. There is that pay as you earn. The government sees, can we move it off for the scientists for better performance? Because if you look at the scientists, you go to the hospital, the time nurses, doctors take to work is more. I think it will be a motivating factor if they can remove pay as you earn off for the scientists for better research. And I'm very grateful to inform Ugandans that for the first time, Uganda they are able to manufacture. We now have a factory for manufacturing a tick vaccine in Uganda. Previously, which was important, and that one is a very good move. So, if we can able to put more resources into the labor force, definitely, with the motivation, encouragement, there will be a better output in this country.
Maybe Mr. Baguma, if I can ask a question. Whereas salaries of these workers have been increased, especially now those who are in the education sector, the teachers,
Yes,
there's also concerns about where they reside, their accommodation. Some of the structures are still in a very dilapidated state, and others don't have actual accommodation. For example, now when you come to Koboko, you find that in a week, the chief administrative officer can be in the office for less than maybe 4 times, and most of them commute from Arua, and this sometimes affects reporting time of workers and exit time. What do you think could be done to ensure that such kind of cases do not recur, since they also affect service delivery?
Living in Arua is by choice. You are a local government staff. you are a resident. Like the RDC, they call resident commissioner. The chief of the most officer is the resident staff of the district. Perhaps somebody, it is personal choice. I don't think there will be a reason someone will reside in the city has better. Of course, there are also staff who come from Arua every morning. Of course, the work starts at 8. Now, if you stay 56 kilometers away, at what time? It means you will arrive here by 10, you will arrive by 11. What will be the output of that work that you do as a supervisor? That one means a lot. Now, meaning for us to, of course, we need the supervisor must be able to live comfortable. If the chief administrative officer cannot live comfortable, if the resident commissioner cannot live comfortable, if the town clerk cannot live well, definitely it will affect supervision of the workers. So I think it is up to the local government, each local government to ensure that their staff lives better, to ensure that there is a quality service delivery in that particular district. Of course, in relation to this, what has been most challenging has been the living conditions of the teachers in the quarters. But of the recent, government has put more effort in the teachers' quarters to ensure that the head teacher and the rest of staff live within. Unfortunately, it's only that the schools which don't have staff quarters. But those schools that have got land, the government has put structure in these facilities. So, meaning, if you cannot live within, it is by choice. It might not be the government restricting you to be in that area. Yes.
Maybe the last question from me before I now conclude the show for today. We want to understand, when you look at Koboko, this is a district located along the borderline. On the western side, we have DR Congo. On the northern side, we have South Sudan. And the people have been going to look for better opportunities the other side. But relating into South Sudan, we have seen a number of Ugandans losing their lives at a time when they are still needed more. And this is all in a search for better opportunities across the other side. As being security office, what do people normally do to ensure that whenever these people go, you know their details, and when there are issues, you can be in person to respond?
Uganda, as a country, has got porous borders. People live outside the country, both legally and illegally. Now, you will come and know that Uganda is outside the country when he has a problem. So, it will be of paramount importance. You are living the country, you should be known that is so and so as another country, so that when you have a trouble outside the country, because the laws in these countries are different from the laws in Uganda. I'm sorry to say this. South Sudan and Congo are still using jungle laws. Therefore, if you live your country illegally, meaning follow-up will be difficult. It will be on a record. Good enough, South Sudan and Congo are now members of the Eastern community. Gradually, when the integration is complete, our movement in these countries will be much easier. Good enough, these are African countries where we need to have free trade amidst them, so that we can exploit the opportunities which are happening within. Other than, because now, when you make a lot of restriction in the border between the international boundaries, it will affect trade. At the end of the day, the exports will be limited,
Okay.
and where the export is low, the country's economy will never grow.
Okay.
So for a country to have a better economy, the exports must be higher than the imports. That's where the GDP can balance.
Okay. Maybe as we look through my screen, what will be a message to Ugandans now that they were celebrating the International Labour Day?
International Labour Day means a lot. That it is me and you who can take this country. It is work. Let us work. It is through work that we can improve the economy of this country. We can improve the social welfare of the people of this country. And nobody can do it. It is the Ugandans. Good enough, the government has put in resources in the local government system. Time for laziness is over. 2026 must be a new beginning where we should be able to see that our country thrives, both economical, political, social.
Okay.
Let's enjoy the peace by working.
Okay.
The peace is not for leisure.
Thank you so much. I knew that you would say that. Thank you very much. This has been Baguma Rashid, the Assistant Resident District Commissioner for Koboko, of course, trying to give us his honest insight about the issues of labor welfare in the country. But also, when you look at this particular International Labour Day, those who work in the district service commissions are also raising concerns that whereas they play central role in ensuring that they recruit the human resource, sometimes they don't have salaries, and this compromises the integrity of their work. And the advocacy here is that they also need salaries as district service commissions. Uganda did confirm that averagely they get over, that is USA dollars 40 million from the Ugandans who are outside. And many are saying that when you look at the new protection sovereignty bill, it is going to protect, it is going to affect the total remittance into the country. And of course, this is still on the issues of labor. Those who work outside also remit back monies into the country that is used for the different developmental aspects. This has been the conversation right here, and from the entire morning at NTV Show crew, we want to say thank you very much for being part of NTV right from Monday, and finally today we conclude the week with International Labour's Day. Let us catch up again next week, the same station, and of course the normal programming continues. Not forgetting the news bulletins that will come in our subsequent programming. That is NTV at 1, NTV Kusawa Emu, and NTV Weekend Edition. For now, allow me to say that from the entire crew, bye-bye for now, and the best of your weekend and International